Good morning, my dear students. Today we will start Lesson 3, Magnetism in Unit 1. Magnet. It is a small object which attracts bodies made up of iron. This lesson divided into 3 parts. The first part we will talk about the types of the magnet. The second part we will talk about properties of the magnet, and in the third part we will talk about the uses of the magnet. Types of the magnet. We have 2 types of the magnet: natural magnet and artificial magnet. We will start talking about the first type of the magnet, the natural magnet. The natural magnet, it is a black stone. It is one of the iron ores. The natural magnet is called magnetite. Now let's talk about the artificial magnet. The artificial magnet has different shapes as rectangular, bar, ring, horseshoe, and magnetic needle. The materials are divided according to the ability to be attracted to the magnet into 2 types: magnetic materials and non-magnetic materials. We will start talking about the magnetic materials. They are the materials which are attracted to the magnet, so we call them magnetic materials. Magnetic materials such as iron, nickel, steel, and cobalt. What about the non-magnetic materials? They are materials which are not attracted to the magnet. Like what? Like the plastic, aluminium, copper, wood, and paper. In the second part of the lesson, we will talk about the properties of the magnet. The first property of the magnet, that all the magnets have 2 poles. The 2 poles, they are the 2 ends of the magnet. We call them 2 poles, at which the attraction of the magnetic substance or the magnetic materials increases. The 2 poles of the magnet are called the North Pole and refers to it with the red color, and the South Pole and refers to it with blue color. The magnetic force of any magnet is concentrated and increases as the 2 poles of the magnet. And the magnetic force decreases gradually till it disappears in the middle of the magnet. So, the magnetic force of the magnet increases at the 2 pole and disappears in the middle. The second property of the magnet. In this property, the similar poles repel each other while the different or the opposite poles attract each other. Similar poles like what? The South Pole repel another South Pole of another magnet. But a South Pole attracts a North Pole of another magnet. Now let's watch a video about repulsion and attraction of the magnet.
Attraction and repulsion. Now that you know about poles of a magnet, let us look at the attraction and repulsion properties too. In the case of magnets, when the South Pole comes in contact with the North Pole, these get attracted to each other. This is better known as opposite poles attracting each other. Similarly, when the South Pole comes in contact with another South Pole of a magnet, they do not attract each other. In fact, they repel each other. This is better known as similar poles repelling each other.
Now let's talk about the third property of the magnet. A freely suspended magnet takes a fixed direction, which is a north-south direction. We have here an important give reason. Give reason for one of the magnet poles, it's called the North Pole, and the other one, it's called South Pole. The reason is because the North Pole is directed to the north direction and the South Pole is directed to south direction. Now let's talk about the fourth property of the magnet. Any magnet has a magnetic field around it. The magnetic field, it is the area around the magnet where its magnetic effect is shown. In this area, the magnet can attract the magnetic substance. Any magnetic substance outside this area, the magnet cannot attract them. The magnetic force of the magnet, it's called magnetism. It is invisible force, cannot be seen. Invisible force, it is a force that cannot be seen surrounding a magnet. And the magnetic force of the magnet is concentrated at the two poles and disappears at the middle of the magnet. Now let's talk about the third part of our lesson. In this part we will talk about the uses of the magnet. The magnet is used in our daily life in some appliances such as the making magnetic compass. Now let's talk about the structure of the magnetic compass. Any compass, it's made up of a light and a small magnet that can spin freely inside a case made of a non-magnetic substance such as aluminum. Why we use a non-magnetic substance in making the case of the compass? To allow a free movement of the magnetic needle. The importance of the compass. The compass is a very important device which we use it to determine the four main directions, which are east, west, north, and south. The operating idea of the compass. From the third property of the magnet, we know if we suspend a magnet freely, it takes a certain direction, which is north-south direction. The North Pole directs to north direction and the South Pole directs to south direction. We have here a give reason. The compass is used to determine the main four direction because the North Pole and the South Pole of the magnetic needle always points to north and south direction of the Earth. So we can know the main four directions of the Earth. Thank you.